Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Zombieland Fortress, my Phoebe Losing is Fun Rimworld Let's Play series. As you may recall from episode 14, we have two of the colonists currently on a caravan. They're heading towards a doctor request. This is Emor and Black Sparrow. We're working on catching up on some mining. I actually forced Ferenz to work on it since we're so behind with steel reserves, and you never know when the next zombie attack is going to hit. And there's a timber wolf hunting Darlinator. We obviously can't let the timber wolf get into a melee fight with Darlinator. Darlinator is not a strong enough fighter to take on a timber wolf by themselves. So we should bring a couple of people out to help. I'm going to bring LK, and Lanes is currently still awake. So we'll bring Lanes as well. Fortunately, I did wake up LK, but you know, you got to do what you got to do. Of course, I could have closed the door behind Darlinator, but I decided not to. I actually want to take out the predators since we have the opportunity to do so. I also apologize that we don't have the game sound effects at the present time. As a reminder, there was an issue with the sound. I am playing the P music, but I know it just doesn't sound the same. I definitely apologize for that. We should have sound for the second half of this video, just this last portion that was recorded without it. We have a ton of pumpkins, which is great because we're ending fall soon. And our medical request, our doctor request event was a success. Yay! Emor gained 6,000 medical and 2,000 social experience, which is actually really great because Emor does do social. We're going to bring them home. Nothing really else I want to take care of right now. They weren't able to sell a couple of the weapons, but that isn't that big of a deal. I wonder if that snake thing we're carrying is rotten. Hopefully not. At first I thought maybe we should go trade with this other settlement, see if we can sell some of the guns, but we're going to bring them home. They don't really have a ton of food. It just doesn't feel that safe for me to have them on the road for any longer. Still having some issues with power fluctuation. It'll be really nice once we get geothermal. For now, I'm just going to refuel our wood fire generators. Also going to make sure that someone is working on smelting. Smelt up the slag that's in this room and then turn off the smelter. It requires a lot of electricity. Hopefully we've stockpiled enough for the winter that's coming. Temperatures are okay. We could probably use another heater in these bedrooms, particularly if we're entering into winter. I think maybe we'll just put one in each side. Since the two sides are separated, they're not joining. And then we have this little recreation room here. It's been built. We gotta put something in it. How about we try like poker? I feel like poker would be really good. Caravan arrived home. Yay. They're home safe. Ah. And there are our sounds again. Yay. So Emor and Black Sparrow are back home. They're unloading their inventory. Batteries are starting to recharge. Food supplies are okay. Obviously, we don't have a lot of raw resources in our food supplies. We only have 1,000, but we do have 97 meals, which is giving me a little bit of peace of mind to have so many meals prepared. Now, one thing that's been bothering the heck out of me is we're getting near the end of the year 5501 and we still have wooden walls. This is ridiculous. Let's start working on replacing these wooden walls, starting with the outer walls, and then we'll move inwards. Also, there's a section here that wouldn't really matter in between the storage room and the crafting room. That section could easily be done now since it doesn't matter if we merge the rooms temporarily. let's make sure that all these caravan items get hauled in urgently. Also keeping an eye on some of these cave flora. Um, you do occasionally get medicinal products or food from them, so it is good to harvest them if they grow big enough. The colony is really coming together. I mean, it looks pretty good to me. We have quite a few buildings built up now. We have these extra bedrooms, which is really nice. We're going to start furnishing those, making sure, of course, they have things like air conditioning and heat. I was also thinking it would be helpful to expand the temperature regulation into that production room so we don't have any temperature-related deficiencies in our production. Obviously, some of our production is happening outdoors or in rooms without HVAC, but if I can, I try to do it. We can continue our little path so people are nice and speedy through the various areas of the colony. Even though we're not using this other space that much, we might as well include a path and some flowers. It's looking pretty good. Surprised so many people are awake in 3 o'clock in the morning. Hey, they planted flowers in our new flower pots. Doing some more floors, this time over to the other new structures, the recreation and dining rooms on the right side of the base. Should help with speed, but also this will be nice because that area behind the barricades has some trees in it, and you want to make sure you don't have too many trees because you won't be able to stand behind the barricades. We're going to go ahead and craft up some beds in these rooms. Doesn't hurt to have them ready even if we're not currently in need of them. And of course, I like to use these nightstands with the light. They do add some comfort. I know comfort in a bed is not the most important thing in the world, but it also looks really cute and they light up the room. So we like all those things. Oh, doing some more floors. And I just realized that our building is deconstructed as well. So we should probably queue up some walls there before we let it go too long. There we go. Much better. And someone will work on that. Let's just force Seymour to do it. They're pretty fast at construction, and they should be able to take care of that quickly for us. I'm starting to think that our refrigerator is probably not big enough. Our colony is getting bigger, and even though we have LWM steep storage and the food baskets, it would be nice if it was a little bit larger. It seems a little packed. I like the rug that we put in the other dining room. I'm thinking maybe we build another one in our ritual dining room. And I decided to do a little... I want to move some things around. I think I want to move this table over so it's not right up against the pews. I think that would look nicer. I know it's not the most important thing in the world, so we'll just quickly take care of this. And it'll look a little nicer in there. It's a little packed as it is with 4 pews, so anything we can do to make more space. Let's get rid of these walls. We'll replace them with granite for now. Like I said, I might expand our refrigeration, maybe. But we also have the mini fridge. We have at least one built. I think just one in the ritual dining room. Just one. The other one is queued up. That's right. We queued up another refrigerator in the other dining room on the other side of the colony. But it's queued up and hasn't been built yet. There's also no power over there, so. I just want to make sure that I think it would be better if we have a surplus of food to have extra meals going into refrigerators around the base, especially near the dining spaces. That's a really good move. And I also think since we're entering into winter and, you know, you can always use more food, I'm going to go ahead and enclose our gardens, our primary gardens, with some walls. I'm also going to build sun lamps. and put a roof on. In the summer, we could remove the roof and power off the sun lamps if we need to. And we have some pretty rich soil here. So let's go ahead and do that. Now, of course, sun lamps don't cover every inch of this area. So let's make sure to shrink our zones so we're not wasting time on zones that will not have sun under the roof. And this is going to take me a little bit, so I'll kind of speed it up for you all. There we go. Much better. So now our growing zones are the size and the shape of our 2 sun lamps that we're going to build. We're also going to, of course, want to roof it in, as I mentioned. And pristine ruins found it right. Oh, geothermal power and pristine ruins. So we have geothermal. Let's continue working towards gun turrets. I'd like more turrets. We started with a few with this starting scenario because we had so many starting colonists. But some of them have gotten destroyed by zombies. So I'd really like to research and build turrets properly. And of course, to do that, we're going to need more steel. So Friends is back at it. More mining. Thank you, Friends. Too bad we don't have a pet ground runner. I don't think we have alpha animals. I think it's magical menagerie on this playthrough. But you can check my mod list if you want to confirm for sure. Tech print applied, jump packs, perfect. We just wanted to apply this to get it out of storage. They're kind of valuable. If you use it up, then you won't really have any value to it. So there's no real point in having it sit in your storage. And Insulting Spree Darlinator, perfect. I'm so glad to see that. I love Insulting Sprees. They're the best. They're really awful. Insulting Sprees are really bad because it sets everyone else up on a mental break or the risk of a mental break because they're being insulted. So, Insulting Green. Can we calm down Darlinator with Snap out of it? No, we failed, but that's fine. It happens. Okay, so the plan is to extend the left side of our original building. 1, to kind of match our more rounded shapes. And 2, to expand our refrigeration. Some of our flowers are dying, that's fine. We did cut all of the crops that we were capable of cutting. Everything that was long enough to be harvested was harvested. So it is what it is about the rest of these crops. Okay, they're getting there with moving this stuff. We can move the table now. And the rest of the chairs. Queued up a couple heaters here. These heaters are actually going to be for our growing room. Okay, so actually I've decided since we're building this extension on our refrigeration that I'm also going to build paste. Obviously, playing on losing is fun. Paste is not really a great option. The mood debuff is pretty harmful when your colony is already having some struggles moods-wise, right? As is common with higher difficulties. But when you don't have the opportunity to cook food and you're running low on meals, it can be really nice to have paste. You don't want people eating raw meals. You can also feed your prisoners paste so you're not spending time cooking meals for prisoners. There are a lot of benefits. So I don't think it hurts at this stage in the colony with how far along this colony is developed. I also queued up the construction for a couple of additional spaces around the edge. One of them is planned for a prison. I'm not really sure what I want to do with the other ones, but it doesn't hurt to start working on them. Especially since we're getting pretty far along with our block cutting now that we have the electric stonecutter's bench. We're cutting blocks pretty rapidly. Black Sparrow is working hard on it. We mined out a little bit more to make our hospital a little bit bigger. The plan is to make both the storage space and the hospital a little bit bigger with some mining. And of course, we'll want to replace the floors eventually. Those areas. We're probably pretty short on steel for the sterile tile. And then, of course, the paste isn't making it better. So we're going to have to make sure we keep... That was weird. They just roofed over that ancient device. Maybe we should just get rid of this one, as it's pretty in the middle of everything. I do kind of like the cover that they provide, but obviously it would be nicer to not have trash in our colony base. For now, we'll just get rid of this one. Perfect. Much better. So now we have some more slag. And of course, we can remove that roofing that they did. We can also expand our refrigeration now, because this is enclosed with cold space. So we're going to get rid of some of these walls that are in between. And of course, we need to make the little hoppers. We need to make hoppers for the paste. Perfect. Maybe we'll move this food basket into this little, like, corner. Maybe a little nicer. I think this looks good. I mean, obviously, it's still kind of cramped, but it's working. Boomalope revenge. Oh, I love how close you are to the boomalope. But I'm also really glad that you're riding on the Yed lanes, because hopefully that means you'll be able to get away kind of quickly. Perfect. Okay, why are we not shooting? Try shooting. I figured it out. So Lanes has one of our longest range weapons. So it takes quite a while to get a shot ready. You'll see here. I had to get more distance between the two of them. But it's such a good weapon for Lanes. One shot was all it took. The boomalope's dead. Absolutely incredible. So we're going to have Lanes bring in the boomalope for the meat. Well, and leathers, I guess. And then I noticed that Lanes wanted to bring in some cherry wood, so we'll actually just queue up the cherry wood for someone else to grab. So that snake didn't rot, but it is just laying on the floor here, so hopefully someone will bring it in. Hauling's such an issue in my colonies, always. Psychic Soothe. Females. Nice. Looks like our storage was set a little too high. The pumpkins were being stored in there. Let's make sure those get moved over to the actual refrigerator room. As well as these corpses that were left outside, maybe because there wasn't enough room. We'll allow our hauler into the entire base. Hauler or haulers. I know Baxter's hauling. I think Hadley's hauling as well. Yeah, Hadley's hauling as well. So the haulers can actually haul things into our refrigeration. I see Darlinator is doing it right now, but it would be nice to at least have the option for Baxter and Hadley to do it. Cleaning up. Let's deliver to some of these walls. I really want to make sure that we have constant crops growing with, one, a colony of this size, and two, the issues we've had with manhunters and zombies. You never really know when you're going to be trapped inside your walls. So let's go ahead and build these walls. We're going to force Emor to do it. Emor is pretty dang quick with that level 14 skill. Look at them go. And because we're doing this, let's actually put a vent in. No, no vent. We don't need the dining room to be heated. There's no reason. I don't believe there's any reason to heat your dining ritual room. Unless your people, like, can't survive, right? They're getting hypothermia inside or something awful like that. It should be fine to just have it be an enclosed space. My people, I think, are dressed well enough that they're not going to freeze in this biome. walking around outside. And we can, of course, allow sowing back on all these fields. We have a little bit of everything in here. Wheat, tea, hops, devil strand, coffee, of course, vegetables. And we get hit with another zombie attack. 294 zombies coming in from the left. Looks great. I'm sure this is fine. I almost drafted everyone, and then I remembered about our researchers needing to gear up. So we'll let those two gear up. We'll draft everyone else into position. And you'll have to see what happens with the zombie horde next time. That'll be episode 16, which should be out in about a week. Thank you for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video.